All right, you're either here for one of two reasons. Either you install an amplifier and you have no output and can't figure what you're doing wrong, or you had an amplifier and it was working flawlessly and all of a sudden it failed. So you give me 2 minutes of your time. We're gonna jump right in, troubleshoot this amplifier. So fast, so easy, with almost no tools. I know if you guys have gotten to this point, there might be a little bit spooked and you're praying your amplifier doesn't have an issue. I get it. What I am gonna say, if a big billow of smoke came out of it and there's a funny smell, the amplifier is probably damaged. There's no way to produce that smell, and you'll know it, you'll know the smell, and produce smoke without blowing some circuits. What you've done is you actually burnt something inside the amplifier. So I do recommend, if there's kind of a burnt smell and you saw the smoke come out, disconnect it, take it to your local retailer, or send it back, because there is a problem. There is no magic bag of smoke, it just magically appears. All right. Step one is to remove all the wires. So what I do is I take this one out. In this case, I only have one because I'm testing, guys. But I'm removing all these speaker wires. And I am unplugging the RCA cable. All that's left is the power and the ground. Remove all the wires from the amplifier, except for power and ground. And I mean RCA, speaker lines, everything, remove it all, even the turn-on lead. And if you have automatic turn-on lead, turn it to off, and then jump the wire like as I showed you in the video. Step two is get a jumper wire of some kind. I am going to jump 12 volts and the remote, okay? Now, some people use a paper clip or something. I choose to use a wire so it's secure. All right, so quickly. Guys, it does not have to be pretty at this point. We are just testing it in under 2 minutes. All right, and if you're unable, like this is a 4 gauge, can't get in there, you can also jump it from the top. And for example, I can use something like this and then just jump it. I'm just using alligator clips and jump it. Now that you have the amplifier, no wires connected, no RCAs connected, and you have the jumper, let's turn, and right now you'll see the amplifier is not on. Step two, like I illustrated, is take it so you can have the wire, the little jumper wire, and you take it from the positive to the remote. Now, like I said, sometimes you can't get it, so you can use a paper clip or something to jump it and then confirm it with your voltmeter or your multimeter to make sure you have 12 volts. Then connect the fuse back up and see what happens. So this is like I said, if that power light comes on, it goes normally, but if it goes, you have to consult your manual on this, but if it goes like orange and then red or blinks or gives something with nothing connected, I hate to say it, your amplifier is screwed, okay? And there's no way to get out of it. Why we're taking all the wires off and everything and eliminating the turn-on lead, eliminating everything, we just want to see that the amplifier turns on. Now that we've confirmed the amplifier turns on, let's test it to find the problem. The best device you can get is make yourself one of these. All it is an old speaker, solder wired with 2 connectors. And obviously one is red for positive and one is red for black. So I can quickly attach it to the amplifier. I will have a description down below the parts you need to make this, but I'll also show you an overhead view so you can get a better picture of this device. All right, now I got the jumper in place. I can see the light is on. What I do is I take my speaker, which like I said was connected, and I'm going to put it right on top. And this is why I do this, guys. I put this right on top of the amplifier. Now I've bypassed any wiring in the car. And so what I do now is I take these and I use just 2 nails in this case, guys. Like I said, it's a quick one. And I plug it in. Now that I've gone to the speaker output, you have to make sure that all the crossovers, etc., are turned off. Take a small RCA cable and plug it into what you want to test. In this case, it's front for me. You hear how that made a pop noise? Watch this. I go here. All I did was take my fingers, and I want you to notice it's the white one. Now, don't be tempted to ground this out. Some people take this and this is for demonstration. Do not do this at home. You see how that popped the speaker? If it was a tweeter, you'll damage it. For example, I'm going to go with the other one. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to switch to the other speaker. Now, positive and negative does not make a difference in this case. Now, if you'll remember, the RCA, the white one, now watch. Nothing. Watch. I know I have my power and ground is correct, and I know this amplifier is working. You take these to the next set and do the same test over and over. Like I said, just like that. The amplifier, as you can see, is not in to protect. Step 3. Now that you've jumped the power wire, and now you can see that the amplifier is not in to protect and is turned on. So the power light is on. And whatever light it is, I don't know if it's red, blue, green, you have to consult your manual for that. Some bad news, guys. If the light is blinking or red or in protect, there's nothing you can do at this point. Since you have nothing to connect, you have no wires, no nothing, you just have power and ground. If it's blinking protect, your amplifier is busted. Sorry to say. Step 4, I want you to connect the RCA cable. Like I showed you, you simply plug it in. Then from there, you want to connect one speaker line. Step 5 is just go through one by one. So take the speaker leads from the speaker, the little speaker, and then take them and plug it into each output as you go. So you guys saw me when I went the white one. Now you notice this one, so I'm connected to the right one. Then go to the rear, and then go to the left and the right. And then I check each speaker one by one. Why I say that? If you have a bad speaker line, got pinched when you're putting it together, you got a bad speaker, could have a pinched turn-on lead. There's lots of things. By doing it this way, by putting this test speaker right on top of the speaker and jumping those 2 wires, you can test this amp so fast, so easy, in less than 2 minutes. Now, a little pro tip, the way I'm doing it here, guys, is why I'm leaving the power and the ground connected, is because I want to be able to test it where it is. Now, I joke. What if it's something how it's mounted? What if it's twisted? What if it's shorting out on something? So why I'm leaving it in the car and I'm making all these connections is because I can do one last test, is I can take that amplifier out of the car and test it on the bench and see if you have the same problem. Now you might say, well, no, I want to keep things all the same. That's why I'm keeping the amplifier mounted with a speaker on top and just jumping some wires. Now that we troubleshooted the amplifier, there's a reason why maybe it went into protect. It might have been distortion, it might have been clipping. So what I've done is I have a video right about here that goes into a 5-minute troubleshooting on how to set up your amplifier for no distortion, no clipping, and to make your speakers last 10 times longer.